Guys, welcome back to Project Potter. Welcome back to episode FIF of Last Resorts here. If I have FIF, well, small crew. We got skeleton crew today, but hey, whenever gets the job done, show goes on, as Leo says. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't seen the show before, welcome to the channel. This is our conversational podcast. We just come up with a topic. We don't tell each other beforehand. We just discuss it. It can be anything. There are no limits. So yeah, we've talked about all kinds of stuff: aliens, robots, heists, all kinds of different shit. So this one might be a little bit shorter just because we have less people here, but who knows? So yeah, I kind of got a topic, guys. I'm not even super crazy about it, but what are some guilty pleasures that you guys have? Like, is there anything that you do that is a guilty pleasure, and why is it a guilty pleasure? Is it because you're embarrassed by it? Is it because you think other people will judge you and they might not? Anything that comes to mind right off the bat?
Yeah, actually, I like watching other dudes unbox Pokemon cards. Seems stupid, but it's like all of a sudden, like I just like watching them like unbox it, like open up like a 20-year-old pack and pull like a stupid Charizard out that's worth 30 grand. It's weird. It's got its hooks in me. I'm kind of ashamed to tell most people that, but it's like
hey, the world knows
pops up on my feed. I'm like, oh, look, this guy's going to open a booster pack that's 20 years old and could possibly have a 10K card in it. I'm watching this.
Dude, I'm obsessed with that stuff with sports cards, though. And it's funny, I was a huge Pokemon guy, but I watch, I forget what they call them, like card breaks or whatever the hell they're called, when they're breaking them with the boxes. But, dude, I watch it all the time. It is wild. There's, they do, like, raffles, so you'll, I think one of them I follow, it's like, anywhere from $10 to like $50 to enter, and you get assigned a team. And if you get a signature card in that box, that's, say you got assigned the Colts and Phillip Rivers jersey auto comes out, or Michael Pittman or Jonathan Taylor, whatever, you win that prize. It's so sick and so fun. I've actually never done it though, and I'm the biggest gambler. I don't know why. I just haven't, dived into it, but I definitely want to.
So we should just go in on one of that one night and just like throw like $60 towards a couple openings.
It's funny because I got like literally I have my cards right here, like in our little studio, my little Babe Ruth thing. Like I love this shit. I probably spent like $1,000 and I have like $3 grand on it. I've thought about Pokemon too. Like I really thought about diving back into it.
I've looked into the sports cards, and like Pokemon's included with it. It's just the Pokemon was the most guilty pleasure because I'm like, like I don't feel as nerdy as when I say like, oh, look, this guy got like a rookie Mike Trout card. Like, that's pretty cool. But like, I'm like, oh shoot, look, this guy just pulled like a vintage Rhydon. Like that I feel a little more embarrassed about to admit.
Yeah, the secret's out now. So is it like I agree. I've actually watched a couple of those unboxing videos, Garrett. I put one on for this guy who does like a channel. He's really like charismatic and funny. And I was like, I'll watch this for like 10 minutes. Dude, it was like 2 hours later. I was like still watching it. And I was like, and it's funny because like the way they open it, he like carefully opens the pack, and then like you have to be careful where you touch it and shit. And it's like,
yep.
So it's like, what is it about that? Is it like the nostalgia, like because we used to like play Pokemon, or is it like is it the like I don't want to say the gambling part, but like the chance that you might get something good?
It's so fun. So
I think it's a little bit of everything.
I think I told you guys when I started buying cases of cards, like it's so cool. I mean, personally, the ones that I unopened, I have like a $300 John Moran. I have the Zion Williamson's between like $250 to $300 that I got a rookie card. I got an Austin Rivers autograph, which I love Austin Rivers, but it's worth like $30. But like it's so fun to open them and just see what you get. And it's weird because I can remember back in the day, like you open a Squirtle in your thing, you're like, I get 12 of these, and you throw it away, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, but for some reason, I'm like opening these, and I'm like, oh, Daniel Tice, that's so cool. He's the Celtics.
That's why you like Daniel Tice now. I knew it.
It's worth $0, but it just, I don't know. Like I have more pride in it, maybe because I value the money that I spent on them more. I don't know.
So is it like a collector's thing then? Like, do we like collect? Because like personally, I don't collect a lot of stuff, but like 4K movies, like I love collecting. I like seeing my little collection down there, like all the Star Wars movies and Harry Potters and stuff. And it's like, so I guess in a sense, I know people like collecting. I'm not a huge collector, but is it like that portion? Like I said, is it the chance where like you open 20 Pokemon card packs and you get all shit cards, but that 21st pack you open, and like Garrett said, it's like a $30,000 Charizard, and you're like, holy shit, like all this.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of all of that. The gamble, the actual excitement of doing it, and then obviously the investment aspect of it, like you could hit big. Like I probably, like I said, I think I spent about $1,000 and I've basically tripled what I got out of all of it, but it'll take me a while to sell it all. I mean, I've been trying and listing some of it. I've only sold a couple, but it's a lot of fun. I've told you guys, I would love to get 5 people, do 1 case a month, so $100 a month, and it's all of our investment. And we own that, and we decide whether, okay, we found a $10,000 card. Do we want to see it appreciate, or do we sell it now, buy more, pull some profit, whatever it is. But yeah. I've talked about it before. I think we brought it up like when we recorded last summer.
I was gonna say, I think before we started MCU, I think like the first time you guys came over, we talked about that before we started recording.
It's so fun. You know, I'm ordering a case tonight. I deserved it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like it's like the stock market with me. Like I have to like keep myself from like buying stock some days. I'm like, I'll just throw some money into this. I'll throw $100 at it. And then I'm like, no, like, but I'm just doing that just to do it. Like, but like when it comes to cards, at least you have something physical to grab and open, and there's some suspense there. If I'm buying, you know, $500 worth of like Bitcoin, it's not very exciting. It's like, oh, this will go up, and I know it'll go up, but
you know what's funny, Jared, is like
physical thing.
It's the whole card market is almost like the stock market. So like, for example, I'm taking a huge loss on a stock right now. And Luke, for example, I know you don't know Luke, but he was like, dude, just sell it, cut the losses. I'm like, why? It's still in business. I'm just going to hold it and wait. It's almost the same thing with cards. Cards disappeared. They had no value for years. And then Vegas Dave, I've told you the story. He bought a card for $300,000. A Mitro rookie autograph, whatever, and then sold it for $3 million or something crazy like that. And all of a sudden the markets are back. Pokemon's back. It's crazy.
Things go down and then they come right back up. But yeah, everyone's so quick. Like when you're taking a loss, so quick. Like, hey, just cut your losses, get what you can for it, and get out. And it's not always the right answer. Like that's why you hear hold. Like you gotta hold sometimes and just hope that it's gonna bounce back. It might never bounce back to what you want it to be, but it's probably going to bounce back better than what you're about to sell it for.
Yeah, cut your losses a little bit.
Yeah.
No, that's a good answer, there.
You know what I'm thinking of on like a smaller level? This is just kind of selfish. Like little guilty pleasures, I think. Like just passing someone on the highway. Like, you know that little feeling you get? Like, I don't know, is that just me? Like you pass someone and you just like, you know, like it's almost like a race. I don't know. I don't know if that's a guilty
adrenaline
pleasure.
Boost.
Maybe I'm just driving wild. What'd you say?
Like an adrenaline boost. You're like, well, it's kind of like if they're going really slow, it feels really good to pass them because you're like, yo, fuck you, dude. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah, but wait, don't you get like a dopamine hit really, where like you pass them and you're like, you feel better? It's like, I don't know. I mean, look, I drive a Mini Cooper, right? So if you're getting past the Mini Cooper, you know something's wrong. Like, you gotta get over it. A song, my guilty pleasure song, 100% is like the number one thing I think of. Miley Cyrus's song "Adore You." I adore that song. Like it's a guilty pleasure. Like it's not like a hip hop or rap that I listen to most of the time. For whatever reason, I really like that song. And whenever I put it on, I'm like, yeah, this is like a guilty pleasure. Like I don't know if people should know that I'm listening to this, but again, this is gonna be out in the wild now. So cat's out of the bag. But I'm sure there's little things too. I think I could think of, but I think the card boxing, anything that's kind of like childish but is like now big. I feel like, yeah, where is it embarrassment? Is that what makes it a guilty pleasure, I guess? But if enough people are into it, is that really like, does it no longer become embarrassing?
Mine's kind of funny because I just did it for the first time again last night in 6 months or longer almost. I love scratching the shit out of my left foot, the one that I broke. So I haven't done it. I did it for the first time last night in 6 months, and it is the best feeling in the world. Like, it's better than climaxing. Actually, sorry, I did climax. I mean, that's how good it is. It's definitely one of my guilty pleasures. I don't know what it is. My toes, my foot, everything. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like when you have anything super itchy, like even if it's just like an eye or something, when you're scratching it, you're like, man, I shouldn't be doing this, but you're like, but I can't stop.
Yeah, it's I don't even think it's itchy. I think it's a mental thing. It's like a nervous twitch or something. I don't know what it is.
I think we all got a few screws loose, honestly. So
right, that's for sure.
Word. Any final closing thoughts or like anything you guys want to throw in there that we didn't touch on?
No.
Word. Vic, I know you said you were still thinking about yours. Garrett, what do you got for a topic this week?
So mine, like with the NHL outdoors thing kind of going on at Lake Tahoe, which looks pretty sick.
Looks awesome.
And they also announced like NBA All-Star Game is going to have like the skills competition before the game and like the slam dunk at halftime, which I thought was pretty cool. So, but like my thing or question is, would you rather have like a destination game as an All-Star game and like make it more meaningful, or would you rather scrap All-Star games altogether? Like, because I feel like All-Star games have always been kind of strange, and I'm like, I feel like they need to like find a way to fix them up. So the question would be probably, if you could choose an All-Star game to stick around, which one would it be? And how would you improve it? And then if you could ditch an All-Star game altogether from any sport, which one would you get rid of?
It's funny, right? Because baseball is the only one that actually matters. Baseball is the only one that actually like means anything. It decides home series, home field in the World Series, and it's like, I think we talked about this on Chasing Rings a few weeks, or probably like over a month ago now, but about how we don't think they should play the All-Star game, or it seems kind of pointless, and especially with COVID now, it's like you can get an outbreak and it's stupid. So maybe we'll talk about that again this week, but the NBA All-Star game is weird because it's like all about highlights. I think a couple of years ago it was like the first competitive game they had, and everyone's like,
no, last year.
Was it last year? Yeah, with Kobe.
Yeah.
I know they're doing like the Kobe stuff, so that's cool. I don't know. I mean, it feels like a weird year to do All-Star games. The hockey stuff I like. The Lake Tahoe stuff, well, that's not an All-Star game. That's just the Bruins. That should be awesome.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather have more games like that than have All-Star games.
Yeah.
The NHL is good about that. They do a bunch of, they had like an outdoor series for a while where it was like the Winter Classic, and then they started doing like 5 or 6 at least a year. And I was like, oh, this is cool, because every time you see like an outdoor hockey game, it's really cool. Like,
doesn't matter who's playing, you'll leave it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've done about like Fenway, Notre Dame. Do they do it at Gillette too?
Yeah, they did.
Gillette, yeah. I mean, it's really cool.
We saw Garrett. We went. Remember, I think it poured. We went to the hockey one that was at Fenway.
Yeah, we went to the
bean pot or whatever.
Double header, yeah, for the bean pot.
We played like one period and then downpoured. So
Northeastern and BU and BC and Harvard, and it was just downpouring all day, and it was fun atmosphere, but also, yeah, it was kind of miserable.
Oh yeah, we had to like go back to we like ran back to the tee because it was just like, yeah, they played one period and then it just like the rink was flooded, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess that's.
And they're like, yeah, everyone might just want to go home now.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys have for like ones you would take away? I feel like I'm still.
I mean, the NFL Pro Bowl is an absolute joke.
It's a nightmare.
You know, it's funny. They've been showing highlights of like the throw-in contest and things like that. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. I would never tune into it nowadays, and I think it's just the Pro Bowl is just such a joke in general. It's going to be a flag football game eventually, if it isn't already. That's how much I don't tune into it. For me, I don't know. I'd probably say the MLB is my favorite because it actually has a meaning to it, and typically most seasons of our life we care if the AL has home field advantage. So, you know, we're naturally tuned into it for the Red Sox. The NBA can be fun, like if there's beef leading up to it and they're going to go head to head, but I'm just not a fan of what they're doing now where they're drafting the teams. I know it adds a little bit of spice to it and it's kind of cool, but no, make it the East versus West. Like, you should want it to be, you know, like LeBron versus Curry because of all the Heat versus Warriors and things like that. Like, you want that, hopefully that rivalry, but they don't now, and they drafted. So I think that brings the most superstardom to one field or arena, court, whatever. I think it's the coolest, but MLB by far means the most, and it's the most impactful. So you have to keep the MLB around.
Yeah, I don't like that they draft the teams now. I thought that was weird a few years ago when they switched that. It should be East and West, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's like Team LeBron and Team Curry. It's like, how do they decide the captains? Is it like
the most votes? The most public votes, I think.
Yeah.
So LeBron's always going to be the captain, basically. Yeah, that's true, man. What about you, Garrett? Which one would you abandon?
I'd probably, in my opinion, I'd probably keep MLB, and because it comes with the home run derby. So aside from it actually mattering, but you get to keep the home run derby, which is fun. And then I would scrap NFL because no point. It's a contact sport and no one wants to participate, so there's no reason to keep it around.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, that's I think a little bit what the NBA has a problem with too. But at least they like you still get like highlight plays, but the NBA has the dunk contest and stuff, and that's still been pretty good, in my opinion. So it's nothing like I feel like in the mid 2000s it was better. I mean the Vince Carter one is like iconic, but like I think
Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, they've put on some shows. Blake Griffin, like 10 years ago, I saw those highlights today. They've been good. Some of them have been bad.
Yeah.
But not bad.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl's got to go. I forgot about the Pro Bowl until you said that. how do you forget
how irrelevant it is?
It's garbage. The coolest thing about it is that they send everyone to Hawaii and their families, and that's...
They don't even do that anymore.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It's in like Jacksonville.
Wow. No, they played in Vegas last year, which was cool because it was a brand new stadium and you can go out in Vegas. So that was kind of cool. But it's still Vegas in fucking February, and I think the coldest month I've been there was January. No, it's not that fun. There's no pool clubs. Like it's fucking brick at night. It is cold. It is 45 and it is breezy. Hell no.
No one's having fun.
That sucks. No, I'm going to Hawaii. I'd rather Hawaii in February than Vegas.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, all you have to know is that the Pro Bowl was canceled this year, and I didn't know until I literally Googled, is the Pro Bowl canceled on the day of the Pro Bowl? And I was like, oh, okay, I guess they canceled it. Like,
yeah.
No one's going to tune anyway, but yeah. What do you got this week, Vic? You got a topic now?
I had two. So, I had a couple on one side that was a little spicier, so maybe I should save that for a larger group. So I'll go very simple here. This is actually suggested by Sam. Would you rather, if you could only order in one meal, would you rather Chinese or Mexican?
Oof.
From your favorite Chinese spot in the world, favorite Mexican spot in the world.
And I'm ordering in.
Or going out, whatever.
For the rest of your life, or just like forever?
Your last meal. We'll call it your last meal.
Jesus.
Chinese or Mexican?
We're getting morbid now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an answer, Vic? Like, I gotta think of this one.
Man, it's definitely hard for me because I'm thinking about like some margaritas instead of Mai Tais, but it would 100% be Chinese for me. More variety that I like, and I don't know, definitely Chinese for me.
I feel like there's a better chance you're getting good Chinese than you are getting Mexican. I feel like there's more variety with the Mexican food where you can go to some really great places and some places.
Yeah,
but I feel like with Chinese, it's like it's like comfort food where it's like that's what New Year's is all about, right? It's like.
Jared, what are you doing? I have a part 2 to this question to make it a little harder.
It's really tough. I'm going to go Chinese. I wanted to go Mexican because I feel like Mexican food and alcoholic beverages go together better.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chinese alcoholic beverages are so sweet. They're good. But when you combine them with the Chinese food, it's like a nightmare for your stomach.
Yeah, you're pissing out of your ass that night.
It's bad. So yeah, but like you said, the variety. There's so much more variety in Chinese. Like even though Mexican's delicious, there's not a big difference in all their dishes. Like it's just kind of slightly prepared a little differently. Like you have burritos, like empanadas, chimichangas. Like they're all really good, but they're all very similar.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, all right, so let's dial this in a little bit. You're at a food court at the mall. There's only 2 options, 2 things open, and it is like your Panda Express, Master Walk, those kinds of Chineses versus like your Moe's, Chipotle, or like small little mom and pop shops. Which way are you going there?
Now we're flipping. Now we're going to Mexican. Now we're going to definitely Chipotle. Like, yeah. Like, give me a burrito with some carne asada and cilantro lime rice and beans and cheese and a bunch of hot sauce and no Master Walk, no Panda Express.
Yeah, Chipotle is king. I didn't have Chipotle for the first time in my life till like 2 years ago, and now I'm like, oh my god, I've been missing out. Like, I'm like, what am I doing? It's like it's just a different quality.
I'm 100% on board with you guys. I would definitely go the other direction with Moe's and Chipotle. But it's funny, we're divided in this house. Sam's obsessed with Moe's queso, and I am too. It's very good. But I will take a Chipotle burrito over Moe's burrito 10 out of 10 times. Like, no questions asked.
Oh, yeah. At work, we have an ongoing debate between Qdoba and Chipotle, and Chipotle has won in a landslide recently. Yeah, that's nothing bad with Qdoba. It's just, I don't know. It's like
it's not consistent.
You can taste, yeah, exactly. You can taste the difference sometimes. And you're like when I get Qdoba, I'm like, oh, this is good. And then the next week I get the same exact thing.
And it's not good.
It's just not as good.
It drives me crazy because I was a big Qdoba guy. Remember, I don't know if you're still there, Kyle, when it opened at North River Crossing.
I was going to say, that's the only one I can think of.
Yeah. And I started going there instead of Chipotle. And I was like, wow, this like looks cleaner. It like tastes better. And then I had it a second time and a third time. It sucked. I'm like, you know what? This place is done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I got some Taco Bell in the fridge, so like I didn't follow the.
Oh no! Oh, I should have lowered the bar.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, I forgot about Taco Bell. Or man, what's the place in Florida? It's like Los Tacos. Like it's literally. Yeah. I think it's Los Tacos or something like that.
Is it Del Taco?
Del Taco. Thank you, Del Taco. Yeah. I've never had it though.
Yeah, there's so many places. Fast food in general is interesting. That's why, like, not to completely change subjects, but like McDonald's. That's why I like McDonald's, because it's like you're getting the same thing every time. Like McDonald's is always king, man. You're always getting McDouble, and it's gonna taste like McDouble whether you're going to the garden or whether you're going over here, over there. Like I don't know how they do it, but it's great.
Taco Bell is like, it's good. I don't eat it a lot though, and it's the one restaurant where I would eat at it more if they actually raised their prices. I do not feel good when I buy something for 79 cents. Nope. Like, I'm just like, there's no margin on this. Like, what is this?
Where is this beef coming from?
Where is this coming from that you're charging me less than $1 for this? So how are you paying your employees? How are you paying for your food overhead? Like, how does this happen when when it's like, I'm buying a beefy 5-layer burrito for 98 cents? I raise your prices and I'll trust it more.
Yeah.
Fair point.
You can tell, like, you can taste the difference, but not in a good way. Like, you can tell it's not the quality of like a Chipotle, where you have something that's okay from Taco Bell, but you're like, oh, this tastes okay, but it doesn't taste as good as Chipotle would make it. Or like this. Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we still lack variety in Massachusetts. Like, I don't know. It's
when it comes to fast food, we lack variety in a big way. It's sad. I mean, like, Chick-fil-A is still a craze here. Chick-fil-A is never mobbed like it is up here. Any other state, region really. Like, you go to Florida, in every street you drive down, it's Del Taco, KFC, Taco Bell, Wendy's, everything you can think of. There's a Chick-fil-A on every corner. It's just, I don't know why that is. You can't even find a Sonic
everywhere.
Popeyes everywhere. Anything you can think of fast food related, you just can't find it up here.
Zaxby's is a good spot, and that exists nowhere near here.
Zaxby's is good.
Popeyes is really good. One just popped up in Leominster like a year ago or whatever, and I remember getting it on like DoorDash, and I was like, oh, damn, this is good.
We don't even have a White Castle.
No, White Castle, In-N-Out Burger. We can't even find Fuddruckers anymore. I used to love
In-N-Out makes sense, though. In-N-Out just refuses to come to the East Coast because they say they can't get fresh food out to us.
I'm okay with that.
So they say that's why they haven't done it, because there's no way.
It is overrated, though. I don't think it's that good.
I like it, but I put it in the Five Guys Booyah category. Like,
I might have it below there.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know. It's right there with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Its hype is too much. It's got too much hype.
Yeah. Yep, 100%.
You guys don't like Five Guys?
I do like Five Guys.
I like Five Guys more than In-N-Out Burger.
It's expensive. Every time I'm like, why am I paying this much money for this?
Yeah. I'd almost rather go McDonald's most days if I'm going to have a cheap burger.
See, McDonald's is the outlier because, like, Garrett, you were saying, like, oh, raise your prices. McDonald's is cheap and good, and you're like, I don't know.
But they've raised their prices. McDoubles are $2 now. You know, fries, you're going to mortgage a large fry. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, I go to McDonald's and I'm like, yo, is there an ATM nearby? I can get some cash for this large fry you're charging me for.
And if you order like just one of their sandwiches, like if you order just a Big Mac, it's gonna run you about $6. Like I'm fine with that. Like that's fine. Yeah. But you can go to Taco Bell and order just their burrito for $1.48. And I just don't get it.
It's a little weird.
Weird. All right, any closing thoughts, guys?
No.
Anybody
I think
hungry
that was
yet?
a good week.
I mean, what's funny is I literally just made quesadillas for dinner. So, but I'm doing Chinese.
You're gonna go upstairs and Sam will be like, I need the answers immediately.
Yeah, literally.
But she needs to know if she's on the right side of history or not.
Well, too many people fell on the wrong side in 2020. So, but that's for another day, right, Jarrett?
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully we have
Alright.
a big crew next week. So, but yeah, this has been episode 5, guys. Last resorts. Boys, thanks for joining me again, skeleton crew. But I think we did good with what we had there.
This was a good week.
Yeah,
now
I need to
I'm,
scratch my feet.